three brief topics to present to the board, and I have presented you with two documents, which I thank you for receiving at the last moment. The first is an email from Westchester County Deputy Health Commissioner Lenny Meyerson, written to Health Commissioner Joshua Guzman on July 17, 2007. After an inspection of Hen Island, Mr. Meyerson wrote that none of the wastewater disposal systems were approved by the Westchester County Health Department, and that a meeting had been scheduled with the county police headquarters the following Tuesday morning and was then canceled. It remains unclear why the meeting was canceled, particularly since Ron Gatto, who was the lead investigator for Westchester County's environmental unit, wanted to go so far as to shut down Hen Island. Now, we learned that the reason the meeting was canceled was political, and that the island was allowed to operate in derogation of all codes, and not because of any flaw in Mr. Meyerson's assessment at the time. Rye's tax records show that in 1989 there were 11 operating outhouses on Hen Island, and then it later shows that as of now there's only one, which means that there were 10 which were illegally shut down, and 10 replacement systems which were illegally established. Of those, at least 4 are within 10 feet of the shore of the Long Island Sound. So, a list of 4 safety and health repairs were suggested by Mr. Meyerson, and he identified that it is likely that several of these non-permitted structures will be condemned. Rye was identified as the lead municipality to handle the matter, but the building inspector, as we understand it, was specifically advised to take no action at the time. Now, Soundkeeper, the steward for Long Island Sound, had requested that either the city of Rye or the county of Westchester conduct a flow and dye test on the shore-based septic pits, and to date no action has been taken. So now that you have Mr. Meyerson's assessment and not just anecdotal complaints, and you also have Soundkeeper's request as a matter of public record, we would request that the city of Rye take the lead and address this issue with the seriousness it deserves. The second issue and the second document is fire safety on Hen Island. So in addition to the health and safety issues, there's also this outstanding issue which continues unaddressed. It really is of an explosive nature, and it is waiting, unfortunately, for only the next Gullivers fire to bring back those horrible memories. I don't know how many of you actually remember Gullivers fire, but Rye's own fire inspector, Jim Deanny, noted that the fire safety on Hen Island was inadequate and suggested that dry hydrants be installed throughout the island. That report was 7 years ago, and to date, Hen Island has done nothing to rectify their own situation. That Gullivers fire was 1974. That was 34 years ago, 24 lives were lost. And overnight, all of the municipalities became fire safety conscious. That determination has waned in the intervening decades, and now the problem is that the various municipalities are no longer inclined to act, and the island itself is not doing what it's supposed to do. So we would urge you to express your foresight, your wisdom, and your love for the community and the children who frequent Hen Island, and take an action in the face of the fact that those who should be responsible to do so are not. I think that it's not an exaggeration to say it's not a function of if, but when. And it's also not a function of exaggeration to say it's not a question of how, but a question of how many. You may remember that a few years ago there was an explosion of a propane tank on Hen Island which went shooting off into the sky and landed in the harbor. And that, as far as I understand, I didn't see it, was seen from as far away as 30 miles south. So the severity of the potential situation is not an exaggeration. And on a final note, which we hope will be a little lighter, you might have seen a rather large, good-natured HillHarbor.com mascot floating around town. His name is Mr. Floatie, and his purpose is to educate. I know that there's a blue shed, an old blue Chevy that was redone with his logo that's also sitting around town. Mr. Floatie is a lovable environmentalist and an advocate for clean water. He's child-friendly, non-confrontational, and devoted to clean water awareness. Mr. Floatie is very tall, dark, and some would say even handsome, and wears a bright yellow sailor's hat. His mission is to meet as many people as possible and draw attention to the need for having a safe environment, which he does by giving high fives and Hershey bars to young kids. Okay. It's then up to the parents to explain the implications of his appearance. Interestingly, teenagers and adults of all ages have been quite drawn to him and have aligned themselves with his cause. Mr. Floatie has been and will continue to appear live at special events and to promote clean water, community health, and to spread the word about conditions on Hen Island. Okay. May I? Yeah, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Floatie has a present for you in the spirit of healing all divides. And with that,
no e-coli on that.
it's fine. You'll be amused. The supporters of HealHarbor.com thank you for the hearing and hope you will give great consideration to the more serious matters of these issues, which we've tried to now mix with some humor, and the hopes that laughter will help to heal all the things that divide us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. We'll have our city manager and staff look at your documents.
Thanks very much.
We'll move on to the next agenda item, which is 4 appointments for the Rye Golf Club Commission by the council based upon the golf club elections. The winners of the election were Doug Killip, T.J. Hansen, Pat Gohagan for 3-year terms, and John Duffy for a 2-year term. I'll make a motion that we approve